we've got some of the hottest comic books on the secondary market to talk about. Yeah, me, you, and a couple good vibes. So let's do it. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Keep It Comics. As always, I am your gracious host, C3. Before we get started, I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel. I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed to the channel. Thank you to all our new subscribers. And if this is your first time stopping by, checking out the channel, please, before this is done, consider subscribing to the channel. I've got 10 hot comic books that are trending on the secondary market that I want to share with you guys today. Some of them I have in my PC, some of them I do not. I am looking forward to going out there on the hunt and finding them. But before I do, I want to share this information with you. So, you all know the routine. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell. So every time I do a video, you wonderful people will get that notification. We're going to dive right on in, all right? But before we do, good vibes only. That's my public service announcement. So let's do it, people. I missed you guys. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. First book we're talking about, coming in at number 10, this book is published by Marvel, and it is The Black Panther, issue number 3, the Torrin Clark 1 in 25 variant. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I put this at my number 10, and I'm going on the hunt for this because I do have a copy, but I want to grab a second copy. The prices have dipped a little bit, right? So raw prices started out at about $600. So this price has come down from 600 to around about 3 and some change in some areas. So this may be a good opportunity to buy this book. So let's talk about some specific numbers, all right? So Black Panther issue number 3, the Torrin Clark 1 in 25 variant. The key factor to this is it is the first appearance of Tosin Oduye, right? Who could possibly be in the future, maybe the new Black Panther. We don't know yet. We don't know what the idea is with Tosin, but everybody's speculating that it could possibly be that he may be the next Black Panther. But, you know, that's still up in the air. But this was always a hot book coming out the gate. And you know how the comic book community is. We like our new characters, right? This book was released on January 26, 2022. The last recorded sale of a graded copy was a 9.4, and that was on March 27th, 2022, where that book sold for $799.99. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 2.74%. Now, even though that is a very small gain, if you notice, the book has come down from where it was. It is trending upward, but the price has dipped. But it is still continuing to trend, meaning that this book is still moving on the secondary market. The average sale for a graded copy in the 9.8 in this book was $1,342, while the average sale for a raw copy of this book was $390, right? So look at that. That's a considerable dip coming down, 600 to 390, right? And like you said, the last recorded sale in the raw was $799, so that's $800. And the comic book is down now to $390, which I don't think that is bad at all. That's actually in that obtainable range for myself for a raw copy. All right. Now, there has been 4 graded copies that have sold so far, and there has been 114 raw copies of this book that have sold, giving us a total of 118 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. Now, remember, I told you that I would be keeping an eye on this book. And again, I will continue to watch this book to see where the prices go with this. I am in the market for another copy. If I can get my hands on this particular book for less than $390, I'm going to do my best. Maybe I can reach out to a buyer and we can negotiate a better price. But who knows? We'll see what happens. All right. So the highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book was $1,400, and that was back in March 14th of 2022, while the fair market value has this book resting at $1,342, and that is at the MCG of the 9.8. The MCG is the most common grade. All right, so most common grade will run you $1,340 roughly in that 9.8 grade. All right, so keep your eye out for this book. Next up, coming in at number 9, we've got some popular copper, I call it. We got some popular copper. All right, we have X-Men issue number 1, cover A. Now, the key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of X-Men Blue, Cyclops, Beast, Wolverine, Rogue, Gambit, and Psylocke. I've always wondered when this book was going to pop. It has finally popped, right? So listen, this book was released on October 1st, 1991. Last recorded sale in a graded copy of a 9.8 was on March 27th, 2022, when this book sold for $142.50. Not bad at all. Not a bad price point for buying on this book. Seeing as how it's been out there for a long time and people have just been waiting on this book. It's actually, to me, it's actually pretty astounding that a book with so many first appearances in there is just now starting to get the attention that it deserves. All right. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 4.02%. Again, slow gains. My philosophy is slow money is always better than no money. Slow but sure. You know what I mean? So that's just a steady climb is good enough for me. Shows promise for this book. The average sale for a graded copy in a 9.8 is $132, while the average sale for a raw copy in this book is $9.78. And this book has been in the dollar bins for so long in the raw copy. So now to see it actually gaining a little traction where it's almost up at $10 is quite fulfilling for me, and so and it's refreshing, and I think that's a good thing. There has been 673 graded copies that have sold, while there has been 2,120 raw copies of this book that have sold on the secondary market, giving us a total of 2,793 copies that have changed hands on the secondary market. And the highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 in this book is $300, and that was back in January 4th of 2022. I like that. That just makes my heart sing to know that this book is finally getting its just due. All right, while the fair market value has this book resting at $132 for the MCG, right, in the most common grade of the 9.8. We got that popular copper. This is when Magneto creates like a safe haven for all the mutants, but the rest of the world doesn't like it. You know what I mean? And that's always been Magneto's thing. They were on Asteroid M. So Magneto tries to create a safe haven. The rest of the world ain't digging it. And you know how it goes down from there, right? Magneto. But you can't be mad at him. He always trying to do for his mutants, man. Magneto love his people, yo. I wish we were that way. Man, we can learn a lot from mutants, right? Coming in at number 8, ladies and gentlemen, this book was published by Marvel. It's a 64 page of comeback bliss. And I'm talking about point 1, issue number 1, the Nick Bradshaw variant. Yes. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Sam Alexander, Nova, quotation marks. Nova. It was released on November 9th, 2011. Last recorded sale in a graded copy of this book was 9.6, and that was back on March 26th of 2022. The price for this book was $200. Not bad at all. I like it. I'm interested in this book. My comic shop actually has a copy of this book that I'm going to try to get my hands on, and I hope that it's still there when I show up at his doorstep tomorrow. This book is currently trending upward right now, ladies and gentlemen, at 7.13%. The average sale for a graded copy of this book in 9.8, in the CGC 9.8, was $337, while the average sale for a raw copy in this book was $88.74. There has been 184 graded copies, 187, graded copies that have sold so far, and there has been 597 raw copies that have sold, giving us a total of 784 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. Yeah, that's a lot of business. That's a lot of business. Now, the highest known sell for a CGC 9.8 in this book is was $569.99. That sold back in May 18th of 2021. And that's the highest known sell for a CGC 9.8 in this book. While the fair market value has this book resting at $337 for the most common grade of the 9.8. Marvel Point 1, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eye on this book. 68 pages of comeback bliss. Yes. Coming in at number 7, we've got some George Perez goodness. Yes, the big homie. Shout out to the big homie, George Perez. God bless you. We love you. And you're on the list again, big guy. We got some George Perez goodness. This is that DC Marvel JLA Avengers Hero Initiative. Yes. Yes. I love it. That cover is so fire, right? It's a trade paperback. This is the first time I think that I've had a trade paperback on a book, but I couldn't resist. This book, it was done by Kurt Busiek and George Perez, right? Yeah. The key factor is that it is a Marvel DC book. Yeah, it's a Marvel/DC book. And the last recorded sale for this book in a raw copy was on March 27th, 2022, where it sold for $282.91. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 0.80%. Again, small gains, but steady. It's consistent. It's moving. The average sale for a raw copy of this book is $247. There's been 244 raw copies that have sold on the secondary market. The highest known sale for a raw copy of this book, and get this, is $535, and that was on March 20th of 2022. Yes, this book is on the move. I hope I find myself a copy. Maybe you'll get yourself one. Keep your eye out for it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 6, this book was published by Marvel. The title of this book is Guardians of the Galaxy, issue number 23. And the key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of the symbiote planet, Clintar. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Venom takes a trip home, but it may not look so good for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Everywhere they go is trouble, 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 man. I love it. This book was released on January 21st, 2015. The last recorded sale in a raw copy of this book was on March 27th, 2022, where this book sold for a nice, humble $10.99. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 39.54%. The average sale for CGC 9.8 of this book is a very nice, obtainable $100. $100, ladies and gentlemen, to get you a 9.8 of this book. The average sale for a raw copy of this book is $9.64. Now, a lot of people like buying raw and sending them in to get them graded. You know, hit them with that light cleaning and that pressing, send it in and see what they can get. That's not a bad idea because that still gives you a little time. There's so much room for growth right here in this particular book. And even though with that seems like that endless turnaround time for CGC right now, you know, this book is going to continue to gain momentum. So by the time you get this book back, if you hit that 9.8 margin, you will have something that is worthy of a nice flip or that PC that you call your personal collection, right? There's been 2 graded copies of this book that have sold so far and 154 raw copies that have changed so far, giving us a total of 156 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market over the past few months. The highest known sale for the CGC 9.8 is, like I said, $100. Beautiful price point for buy-in. And that was back on July 2nd of 2021. Fair market value does have this book resting at that $100 mark for the most common grade of the 9.8. I think that's a beautiful price point. Whether you want to add this book to your collection or you're just looking to make a quick flip, $100 for the CGC 9.8, $9 62 cents for the raw copy that you can send in and do what you want with it. All right. Now, we've made it to the halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. And before we go any further, as I always do, let me stop and take this time to thank each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel. I appreciate everything you do. I thank you for all your love and your support. Thank you for all the beautiful comments you guys leave in the comment section. I appreciate all the engagement, all the questions, and just some of the conversations that we have when we're talking about other books. I really appreciate that. Right now, I'm currently chasing my degree down, and they have me taking statistics. So my brain is like jello. And I know, I get a little pulled away from the comic book community, but I always seem to find my way back because I need those moments of fresh air. I need to take a breath of fresh air and give my brain time to try to pull itself back together as it's being stretched apart with all these numbers. And then I'm turning around and talk about more numbers with the comic books. So I don't know, man, but this is like a breath of fresh air because these numbers are a little more simple for me to handle. All right. But I'm enjoying the class. I'm thriving in it. I excel in it. For some reason, I love numbers and it's all good. You know what I mean? But I appreciate this time that I get to spend with you guys and just share my love and my passion for comics. All right. So, and if you guys stick around to the end, I'll show you some of the comic books that I picked up these last couple of weeks for New Comic Book Day. Got some pretty interesting books. Some that are spiking on the secondary market. Some that I've just been super excited about being able to add to my personal collection. And I'll be more than happy to share those with you if you want to hang around for that. All right? So you guys know what I always say. Good vibes only. Let's just enjoy the hobby. And do us a favor. If this is your first time stopping by checking out the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. I drop this type of content all the time. I have a love for comics that I think is just beyond reason. I found something that I love. I'm very passionate about it, and I don't mind sharing it. So anytime you see me drop a video, please stop by, check me out. It's be full of information for you. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to our regularly scheduled program. Coming in at number 5, I've got some Silver Age goodness for you. This book was published by Marvel, and it is Fantastic Four, issue number 70. Yes. Now, you guys will say, oh, that's not a key book. It's key to me. And the key to it is that it's a Stan Lee, Jack Kirby team up. It's Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, baby. You can't go wrong with that. Not to mention, it's when the Fantastic Four defeated the Thinker, and even though they defeated the Thinker, Ben was still brainwashed, so they were still being attacked by Ben and the Thinker's androids. It's just a great read, just a phenomenal story. Jack Kirby, Stan Lee was just in their element when they wrote this book, man, when they was writing this comic. And it's just great. It just drew you in, and it kept you engaged for hours, man. You could just read and reread and reread, man. It's just a great book. The artwork was phenomenal. The writing was phenomenal. You got two legends doing their thing, and you can't go wrong with this book. It's seeing some movement on the secondary market, which is why I had to put it on this list. I know my Fantastic Four fans could appreciate that, as I do. This book was released on January 1st, 1968. It is the last recorded sale was in a raw copy, and that was on March 28th, 2022. The price was $34.50. I get so excited when I talk about Fantastic Four. It's ridiculous. I can't wait to see them on the big screen. Yo, I know we've had Fantastic Four movies in the past, and I'm not hating on those movies because they were very entertaining to me. I know a lot of people don't like them, but they were all right by me. But now that I'm older and I have a true love and a passion, I really understand what's going on in the Marvel universe. Man, when Fantastic Four hits that big screen, and given the fact that I think Marvel now has mastered the game and they know what to do and how to give us that, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about that. When Fantastic Four hits the big screen, oh man. It's gonna shake up the world. All right. This book is currently trending upward right now, ladies and gentlemen, at 11.52%. The average sale for CGC 9.2 is $114, while the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $25.75. Very nice, very even, obtainable amount that you can get and put it towards this book, right? Even if you put $10 a week away, you can have this book in a matter of 2 weeks, you know? If you're looking for that raw copy. A little bit longer if you're trying to get that CGC 9.2, but it's still obtainable. Like, you don't have to rush into these things. And keep that in mind. When I show you these comic books, like, you don't have to rush out and try to grab these comics. If you can get them, that's fine and dandy. But I save up for my books. You know, I put money aside for them. I work every day. There's nothing. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I know it's hard to tell, right? Hard to believe. No, but I wasn't. Seriously. But so I save up for my comics, right? I figure out which comic that I want to go after. How much money am I going to need for it? What am I willing to put aside to make that happen in the time frame that I think I'll be able to get it in? Yes. A man with a plan. All right. Now, there's been 43 graded copies of this book that have sold, and there has been 396 raw copies of this book that have been sold so far, giving us a total of 439 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. The last recorded sale and the highest known sale of a CGC 9.8 was $1,912, and that was back on November 19th of 2015. A little while back, right? So you can find a 9.8 in this book, and I'm almost fairly certain that you'll be able to negotiate a nice price with this. You know, a nice way to get this book to change hands would be for you to put your negotiation skills to the test and see what happens, right? Fair market value has this book resting at $114 for the MCG of the 9.2. Silver Age goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic Four, issue number 70. Coming in at number 4, we've got some more Popular Copper. This book was published by Marvel. The title of this book is Secret Wars 2, issue number 3. The key factor to this book is the Beyonder falls under the influence of a mob boss, and the Beyonder takes over Kingpin's business, and then the world. Yeah. I think there's something there. I think we see something, because look at the numbers that we got going on. This book was released on September 10th, 1985. The last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on March 27th, 2022, where that book sold for $20.78. This book is trending upward right now, ladies and gentlemen, at 3.19%. Excuse me. At good vibes. Woo! Stay down, baby. Oh, man. Unbelievable. This book is currently trending upward at 3.19%. The average sale for a CGC 9.8 in this book is $183. And the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $21.91, ladies and gentlemen. There has been 86 graded copies sold, while there has also been 478 raw copies of this book that have sold, giving us a total of 564 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. The highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 in this book is $560. Yes, it's a half a rack. And that book sold back in June of 2021, June 21st, 2021. And the fair market value has this book resting at $183 for the most common grade of the 9.8. That Popular Copper, ladies and gentlemen, Secret Wars 2, issue number 3. Speaking of 3, we've made it to our top 3 trending comics on this list, all right? Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 3. This book was published by Marvel. It is from this era. Yes, the modern era. The title of this book is Point One, Issue Number 1. And the key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Sam Alexander, Nova. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It made the list again. This is the other variant. Yeah. This is the other variant. So there are 2 of them out there. All right. This has 7 new stories that set the stage for a bunch of changes that happened in the MCU. So that's why this book is on the market. So many changes happen in this. So, and we don't know which way the MCU is going to go, but you're going to want to have this book because as they bring Nova to the forefront, we don't know which one they're going to use, but better safe than sorry. All right. First appearance of Sam Alexander, Nova. This book was released on November 9th, 2011. The last recorded sale in the graded CGC 9.8 of this book was on March 27th, 2022, where that book sold for $450, my friends. This book is currently down right now. Yes. This book is currently trending down right now, which gives us an opportunity. There's an opportunity here. I always say, strike while the iron is cold. For this book, this is a good purchase. Strike while the iron is cold. The average sell, this book is currently trending down at 9.80%. It's down 9.80%. And the average sell for the graded CGC 9.8 in this book at the moment is $307. Look at that. So in March 27th, we're looking at $450. Now we're looking at $307. Strike while the iron is cold, ladies and gentlemen. Get this book. Get this book. The average sale for a raw copy of this book is $46.35. There has been 217 graded copies that have been sold, and there has been 909 raw copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market, giving us a total of 1,126 books that have changed hands thus far on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book was $499.99, and that was back on August 7th of 2021. This is a great buying opportunity for those of you who want to add this book to your collection, or if you want to grab it in a 9.8 and put a quick flip on it. Hey, that is completely up to you. But I see an opportunity right here. Strike while the iron is cold, ladies and gentlemen. It's a perfect opportunity to get this book in your collection. All right, the fair market value has this book resting at $307 for the MCG of 9.8. Remember, the MCG is the most common grade of the 9.8. All right, modern era book. Coming in at number 2, we've got some Bronze Age goodness. This book was published by Marvel. The title of this book, wait for it. Okay, I'm playing. The title of this book is Nova, issue number 1, and it is the first appearance of Richard Rider, Nova. This book was released on September 1st, 1976. Last recorded sale for a CGC 9.8 graded copy of this book was on March 27th, 2022, where that book sold for $2,699. This book, ladies and gentlemen, is got some steady gains, and it is slowly trending upward at 2.34%. The average sale for a graded copy in the CGC 9.6 of this book is $737, while a raw copy of this book will run you roughly about $195 to $200. There's been 1,275 graded copies that have sold, and there's been 1,744 raw copies of this book that have sold, giving us a total of 3,017 copies of this book that have changed hands over the last few months on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 of this book is $2,999.99. While the fair and that was back on March 25th of 2022. So we just had a significant sell of this book where it's reached a very nice high of almost of $3,000. I'm going to call that $3,000, $2,999.99. Can I borrow a penny, please? $3,000, right, on March 25th of 2022. That's great. That's great that this book is seeing its just due. That's great. I like it. And the fair market value has this book resting at $737 for the most common grade of the 9.6. This book is reaching new heights and sales, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eye on this book. Keep your eye on this book. I don't see any reason why it's going to slow down, why it's going to stop. It's going to pick up momentum as the MCU continues to take form. It's going to pick up. It's going to pick up. Bronze Age. Richard Rider. Richard Rider becomes Nova and battles the Conqueror. Becomes Nova, battles Zor. You know, they tear up every... Yeah, you know. I'm around for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. We have made it. We have made it. Coming in at number 1, we've got DC at number 1 on my list. DC at number 1. The title of this book is Batman, issue number 227. Yes. The key factor to this book is that it's got classic Neil Adams cover work on it. Yeah. Neil Adams, baby. Fire. Flames. Yes, definitely. Can't go wrong. Yo. This book was released on October 20th, 1970. Last recorded sale in the raw copy of this book was in March 12th, 2022, where that book sold for $475, ladies and gentlemen. This book is currently trending upward at 26.49%. The average sale for a graded raw copy and an 8.5 is $1,338, while the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $472. There's been 191 graded copies of this book that have sold so far, and there's been 322 copies of this book that have sold in the raw form, giving us a total of 513 copies of this book that have changed hands thus far on the secondary market. The highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 in this book, in a CGC 9.8, Batman issue number 227 sold for $31,200. And that was back in January 14th of 2021. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about a hot potato right here. And the fair market value has this book resting at $1,338 for the most common grade of the 8.5. Batman, issue number 227. Classic Neil Adams cover art when Professor Stewart runs for Congress, but his place gets burned to the ground and Robin has to go investigate it for him. Yeah. Classic DC. Can't go wrong. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my list. But before we go, for those of you who want to stick around, I'll show you some comics that I picked up over the last couple of weeks for New Comic Book Day. All right? And I know you guys have some hot stuff yourself. Please, send me a little description. Find me on IG. Show me what you picked up. I'm around for that. I'm interested. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you saw something that you think I might like, yeah, hit me up. Let me know. A lot of people do it. I don't mind getting that information too. All right? So, I'm going to start way back and then work my way to the beginning. Okay? So I've got my book, I got my box down here beside me, and this is where I'll be grabbing from. All right? So, the first book I want to show you that I got is Halcyon Legacy, Star Wars. And this is issue number 1, the second print. I grabbed a couple copies of these. I love that black cover. Beautiful. The next book I grabbed was Star Wars, War of the Bounty Hunters, Jabba the Hutt, issue number 1. And I got to give a shout out to Jim's Comics. Jim Comic put us on to this. You know, from the first time he mentioned it, you could probably go on eBay and get it for about $10 with $4.95 shipping and handling. So you say about $15. But now these books are starting to pick up a little steam. So if you see them out there, grab them. And I read the book about what's her name again? Diva Lumpop. Yo, she's the truth. Yo, she hard body. And yo, she's sexy. I don't know what it is about me and these green people, man. Captain Kirk. Beam me up, Scotty. Yo, she can fight. And man, she's just beautiful, man. Yo, great story too. Great story. So grab it, check it out, add it to your PC, man. And I grabbed a few copies of those. I sure did, just to have in the collection. Right? You never know. Yeah, this is the one that's actually doing extremely well. So grab it. I think this book is up about $50 right now. So definitely make sure you check it out. Right? I think this is actually the second print right here. Yeah, this is the second print, the sketch variant. Yeah, she's definitely the truth, yo. All right. We have Miss Marvel, and this is issue number 1. We have Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issue number 1. I would love to see this on TV. Godzilla versus the Power Rangers? Come on, babe. Come on, man. This would be dope. That would be so dope. Again, Godzilla versus the Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and this is cover A. That other cover I showed you was cover B. Godzilla. Love it. Next up, I grab Earth's Mightiest Heroes, issue number 53. This is the second print, and I believe this is the first cover appearance of the Black Panther in the red suit. I don't know if we're calling him the Red Panther yet. I don't want to jump out the window. The next book, Star Wars, War of the Bounty Hunters, Jabba the Hutt, and this is cover A, issue number 1 of those last ones that I showed you. Even cover A is doing well in the secondary market, so if you need to get one, grab one. All right. Next up, Shattered Heroes, Avengers Academy, and this is issue number 1. Well, this is the first issue. This is actually issue number 21. And this is the first cover appearance of the White Tiger. The first and cover appearance of White Tiger. First appearance and the first cover appearance of White Tiger. That cover's just hard body. I like it. I grabbed this for nostalgic purpose, for nostalgia reasons. I love this book. I've been a big fan. I Love Lucy. Lucille Ball. I love Lucy. That's my girl. One of my favorite joints is of her in the when her and Ethel was working at the chocolate factory. Yo, they had her on the conveyor belt. Yo, she is hilarious. This is she was one of the best female comedians ever, man. Ever. I love Lucy, ladies and gentlemen. Man. Lucille Ball. Next up, For Marvel, I grabbed Young Avengers. This is issue number 9. And I believe this might be like the first cover appearance of Kate Bishop as Hawkeye on the cover. I could be wrong. Leave a comment in the comment section. I think there's a couple that's claiming the same thing. But all in all, still a nice book to have. As you can see, I've been busy. Yeah, every chance I get away to step away from that arithmetic, I'm in the comic shop. All right. Next up, I've got Avengers. This is issue number 35. And this is the first Sam Wilson in the Captain America suit. Yay. Glad to have it. Glad to have it. Next up is Marvel Avengers. This is a variant. Avengers issue number 44. Just a fire variant I just wanted to have. It's dope with all of them on the front, all of them on the cover. All right, next up, I grabbed the X Deaths, or should I say, the 10 Deaths of Wolverine, the 10 Lives of Wolverine, issue number 5, and this was that Hidden Gem variant. Shout out to Billy from Economic and Comics, because he put us up on this. Made me aware of it, so I was able to go on the hunt for it. And I was able to get a second copy of that. That is a nice cover. Next up, we've got Trial of the Amazons, Wonder Girl, issue number 1. Trial of the Amazons, Wonder Girl, issue number 1. And that is just a beauty. That cover is beautiful. Definitely. I don't have a second copy, but I'm gonna see if I can get another clean copy of that, man. That is just an awesome book. If you can find that book with no stains and no prints on it and catch it in the 9.8, man, you got something. Next up, we have Demons, issue number 1. The foil variant. We have Demons, issue number 1. I've got another one behind me. If you can't see it, it's right there. Just laying there. Oh, next up, I've been grabbing these too. So, just in case, because I like to anticipate, but these covers have actually been doing very, very well. And let me see. Yeah, these covers have been doing very well. So, I want to show them to you. But I want to make sure I name them properly also, because I forgot exactly which book they were. All right, but I got one that's still open right here. Yeah, so this is Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, issue number 3. Right, and this is the Carmen Canero Stormbreaker cover. Yo, if you guys see these covers out there with this phenomenal artwork, be sure to pick it up, because I think this artwork is going to continue to just explode. Look at that. Can you see that? Holy bejeebies, man. That is just some beautiful artwork. If you guys have this in your collection, just, take the time to just stare at this artwork. This is artwork. And I think this artwork is going to, I think the price is already going up on this a little bit. Small gains, but still, nonetheless, steady gains, And the price is going to continue to go up on this book. I think it's up at about $10, $10 to $15 right now. But listen, if you see these, grab them. Nice, beautiful artwork. Yeah, I grabbed a few of them. I don't know, man. The artwork is just nice. I love it. Next up, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 88, All Hail the Queen Goblin. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We have The Punisher, issue number 1, that beautiful Alex Ross timeless variant. Man, we waited a long time for this. Keep your eye out for this one, too. I think this one's going to raise up eventually, too, because there wasn't a lot of these orders, seeing how there were so many other variants that people could have gotten. That this may actually do well, and it still has the old logo on it. It still has this old insignia up there. I don't know what they're talking about with that new one. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Strange Academy, issue number 16. Cover A. We've got Carnage, issue number 1. Yeah. Eternals. What is this? Issue number 10? What is that one? I got 2 copies of it. It's in my pull box, so I must have ordered it, right? Next up, we have Little Monsters, issue number 1. I believe this is Jeff Lemire, cover A. Yep. This book was hot. We have Dr. Aphra, issue number 19 with the Mandalorian cover on it. Book was hot. This book also was hot. Star Wars Darth Vader, issue number 21. Yep. Got another copy. We have The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 92. All right. That box is done. So I'll show you what I grabbed this past week of New Comic Book Day. All right. So last week, New Comic Book Day, I was able to get my hands on The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 93, Spider versus Spider. And I believe there was a first appearance in here, the first appearance of, are we calling him? Chasm or Chasm? Chasm or Chasm? Right? We have Something Is Killing the Children, issue number 21, the die cut variant. Back to the 90s, baby. The gimmick covers. Yeah, you know how that go. We've got Hulk issue number 4, second printing. Yeah, I ran out of bags and boards, ladies and gentlemen, but I will get more. I try not to handle them too much, too, when I don't have any bags and boards, because I don't have anything on my hands. We have Silk, issue number 3. Inyak Lee cover. We have Spawn, issue number 328. Just love this black cover. Can't wait to throw that in the My Light. Something Is Killing the Children, issue number 21. I believe this is cover A. I'm happy to see Something Is Killing the Children is back, too. And we have Miles Morales, Spider-Man, issue number 36. B cover. Then we have cover A. Now, for this book right here, somebody leave a comment in the comment section. I'm not quite sure. I didn't check myself. But this book was going for like 20 bucks. I don't know if this was an open order variant or it was the 1 in 25. Somebody let me know. But this is Something to Killing the Children, issue number 21. But this joint right here is nice. I like it. I like it. I like it. Right? Next up, I have Vampirella Unholy. This is issue number 4, and it's that Rose Besh cover. I know my boy Dave could appreciate that. Shout out to Dave. Next up, I grabbed Immortal X-Men, issue number 1. I grabbed that wraparound variant where they're all sitting at the table. I call this the Last Supper variant. Next from Marvel, we grabbed Dark Ages, issue number 6. Yes. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, issue number 36, the Carnage variant. Man, this joint fire. Look at that yellow cover. Baby. I gotta find another one. Next up, we got Ghost Rider, issue number 2, that Peach Momoko joint. Yay. I like that one. That's hot, literally. No pun intended. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still having fun. But I know I gotta let you guys go. Next up, Something is Killing the Children, issue number 21. I believe this is the cover B. I love this cover, man. This cover is so alive, man. Look at that. Man, this cover is so beautiful. Wow. I love it. And last but definitely not least, The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 93, the Gleason variant. And shout out to my boy Steve at my comic shop, DJ's Cars and Comics. Hooked me up with this. Shout out to the big homie. I appreciate you. Takes great care of me. Look at that. That's awesome. Such an awesome book. Such an awesome book. Wow. Whew. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all the comic books that I picked up for the last few weeks of New Comic Book Day. I also blessed you guys with your list. Listen, those are the 10 comics that I see making all those gains on the secondary market. If you are interested in any of those books, take your time, set a plan, go about achieving your goal. Please, do not jump out the airplane without the parachute, right? We do this for the fun, for the love of the hobby. Don't make any hasty decisions. You don't have to get your lights cut off in order to obtain a comic book. You don't have to pass up on paying your car note just to get Nova issue number 1. Take your time. Put a little money aside. You'll be able to get your hands on it. These comic books ain't going nowhere. All right? Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel. I love and I respect all of you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the encouraging comments. Just thank you for just being who you are. All right? I got to get out of here. So you know what I always say, don't hate, congratulate. Show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see me, you know what it is. Always Keep it comics. Peace. I'll see you guys next video. Later, Gators. And we out.